So basically, I am pretty much doing this. Um, this is Tuesday, November 28th, 2023. All right. So this is kind of like my Black Friday GameStop experience. Um, I don't really know how else to really call it, but the title I'm going with is like the tale of two cities, or in this case, the tale of two GameStop stores. So, firstly, I wasn't really actually planning on saying anything about this in truth, um, but the experience bothered me so much more than I thought, to the point that when I got home, my friends kind of noticed, even when I was streaming, which apparently I was on mute. Um, and they simply asked, like, what's wrong? Um, and then later on, my wife was, who is like, who troubled my husband. So clearly, I wasn't in the best frame of mind. So here's a chain of events, as I recall it. Um, mm, just so you know, I'm nobody in the grand scheme of things. So I don't really care one way or the other. I don't think anybody much will kind of see this, watch my videos, have their own thoughts. But I'm gonna like share my feedback. So I was looking at like tech and gaming deals for quite some time, um, and as kind of traveled, um, you know, I've looked forward to November releases for games and hardware. You know, looking at you, PlayStation Portal. Black Friday deals, Cyber Monday deals, Christmas deals, especially on the rise. And with all of that in my mind, I kind of wanted to check out GameStop for the first time. And I did a few months ago, probably like a month or so back by now. Super Mario Brothers Wonder and Spider-Man 2 release weekend was awesome. Um, it was kind of like my first real foray into like going to GameStop. I was there the week before. I let them know that I wanted to like be here for like the launch week and stuff like that. Now, when I was there, like the first rep I met was his name was Martin. I posted and wrote him on Instagram already, and like GameStop responded and was really pleased to see that I had a good experience. Martin was super. He was welcoming, engaging. He pitched things of interest to me, and his manager, who I can't even remember his name now, was just as welcoming. Even got me like when I returned, sold on like you want to sign up for a pro membership. So I was there like 2 weeks later, hoping to get like the PS5 portal, but of course no luck. Um, but I still bought something. Um, Pro membership and you know Mario Yoshi T-shirt. Um, the point is engagement ensured that I never went into a GameStop store, into that GameStop store, and walked out empty-handed. Um, then came Black Friday, and I had a list of things to get. Collectibles. Um, I I saw my first like there was like one I saw it the first time, but I never got it. Um, and it was like it was it's fine. I'll show it in the stream later. It's basically like the love harshirama from um, Demon Slayer. Anyway, I got like branded T-shirts because I wanted to like switch up my stream. I wanted some controllers. I was looking to get a PS5 controller and a new Joy-Con for my Switch because my daughter ate another one almost like 3 years ago, and I didn't never replaced it. Um, I know possibly a few games or digital cards to reload my store wallet, and a new budget-friendly headset, which I really, really needed. So I basically went online and I saw that the website was giving a limited time offer deal where you could buy online and pick up at the store and get another $5 discount, and basic stuff like that, the usual deals that GameStop has on your website. Now I have multiple headsets, but two things occurred. Firstly, I remember the store manager saying, if you want something, you can come into the store, and they benefit from you buying stuff within the store. Plus, I had a really great experience the last time I was there. Heck, I got a lot of free stuff um, just by walking in the store, and all I did was like I just went in there to pre-order Super Mario Bros. Wonder and Spider-Man 2. Um, but just me completing one pre-order, he gave me like this is like a pendant from the collector's edition for Lords of the Fallen. I got some posters. Um, got a bunch of other small stuff. I think I got like a Pokemon gift card. I mean, these were probably like being given away, but I got one. I still haven't even opened it. Not even sure if I want to. I mean, I don't actually need it, and the code is still unwrapped. Um, so the point is, I went in the store and I got small stuff. I mean, small stuff in the grand scheme of things, people probably won't even think these have real value, but for me, these are really precious. And again, all I went in there to was to pre-order Super Mario Bros. Wonder. Secondly, the website had the headset that I really wanted, but unfortunately, the headset wasn't available at this store. Um, but it was available at another store. No, I have multiple headsets, and I nitpick on all of them. Like there's wear and tear, like on the sponge and things like that. But I have like a really expensive had a really expensive gaming headset. It had like a dedicated mic line in a dedicated headphone line. It had a USB plug. It had gaming lights, RGB, and everything. But the quality itself, in terms of the audio, was poor. So I really needed a new one, and I had a Logitech one, which was really great audio-wise, but I mean, it was a Logitech USB, and it had issues. So, and then I bought a Bluetooth headset, which I've basically been using, and I'm like, it's not been so great audio-wise for my stream. So I said, all right, fine, I'm gonna get a good headset during this, Black Friday weekend to Cyber Monday weekend sale. Um, and also, I want to kind of like get something that kind of matched my stream. Fast forwarding, this is pretty much the headset I got. It's the lucidsound 10SP. It's basically the one that's branded for PlayStation 5, PS4, and PC. And the point was, it kind of matches my kind of like gaming chair that I had bought on like eBay for auction. This is like $160 gaming chair that I got for like $35 on eBay auction, brand new, and pretty much this is like the lucid zone symbol and stuff like that. So the point is, I had like a theme that I've been going with, and I was just trying to find matching things for it. Nothing real big. So kind of like fast forwarding a little bit. You know what? Let me. I'll just give the full details. So um, I I'm a little bit frustrated. Every time I talk about this, I get a little bit frustrated, so forgive me. So, you know what, let me not go off script. Let me just stick to my before, like I get too over punishment. over passionate at times. Anyway, um, and so lo and behold, GameStop, there was a really nice budget headset, which is pretty much this lucidsound. Um, and it pretty much hit all the right notes for me. What I really love about it is that it has this boom mic, because one of the things about all the other headsets I had is that one had a short boom mic and they weren't detachable. This one is, and then I could adjust it as I stream and things like that, and it has a really great quality sound. All of the others, like my sound would be like in and out. Um, so when I saw this, it matched the theme. It had things that, and of course, it was budget friendly. So so what did I do? I said, I called the store, and upon being answered, I advised them that I saw a headset online and that I wanted to confirm if I could buy it and um, and come and pick it up there at the store, because the app said if I bought it, I would have to pick it up the next day because it basically passed a cutoff time, I presume. The rep on the line um, said that they are really busy with other customers, and if I wanted to know if it was there, I would have to come in the store and look for myself. No, as my friend said, this should have been like my first red flag. All right. Well, like I said, I was in need of this and I was really eager to get it so I could get back to streaming. So I decided to add the items that I wanted in my cart. I changed the store on in the app to the store to this new store because you know, I wanted the headset, and the app was telling me this is the closest store to me that had the headset. Um, all right, so fine. So I hopped on a bus, drove 30, probably 40 minutes to the store, and then I walked for another like 15 minutes, 10 to 15 minutes in the cold. This was like 7 p.m. Black Friday night. Because I was just eager to get everything that I needed. So I had some items in my cart. I needed a headset, mini by bare minimum, and I was would take, advantage of some Black Friday deals. So I saw the store was open. There were no lines. There was like probably like four people there at the counter, and two GameStop employees behind the desk. One was at the cashier, one was standing there. Um, and I opened the door and I walked in. There's no signs nor anything. I opened the door and walked in with high hopes. I was immediately greeted with, "No, I'm only serving these last two customers. Come back in an hour." I'm like, I, I was, I froze. I was like, I stood there for like a second, and I was ready to like look behind me to see if they were talking to somebody else, but clearly they weren't. Everyone in the store was like, even the assistant, the other patrons, they looked at me. And honestly, I started to look at myself because I was like, I opened my mouth to speak, and you know, but it's like I opened my mouth to speak, but I was in silence again. These are the last two customers. Come back in an hour. And then he immediately looked back to the person he was checking out. And I was so embarrassed. I was ashamed. I was dumbfounded. And I simply responded and said, is customer service dead in this country? I looked at him and everyone else in the store. Um, and the rep looked away and began speaking to the other persons and continued to check out. All right, I said fine. I was already embarrassed and I decided to simply look around to see if my items were at least there. Um, the reason was that, again, this was the only store that had the headset I wanted. So, beggars can't be choosers. Also, on the night of Super Mario Wonder and Spider-Man release weekend, the rep at the other store, Martin, had told me that they had to like close the store and reopen closer to midnight, like 11 o'clock for the midnight launch. Um, and that's when I had to come back to get my pre-order. So I had nothing better to do that day, so I had actually like played old school Mario, Super Mario Bros. 3 on my Switch at the mall for like 3 hours, and waited until they reopened the door. So to be honest, being told to wait like 1 hour wasn't a big deal. But I swear, my emotions, I wear my emotions on my sleeve, and I honestly felt that way. I was genuinely ashamed and like dumbfounded because that's how I was greeted, and other people were there. I mean, nobody here knows me, but I mean, to say that I didn't feel, to say that I felt away would be an understatement. Um, so I looked around for a bit. I saw the headset that I wanted on the shelves, and I walked back to the doorway and stood there, and I was waiting on the other persons to be checked out. Still feeling ashamed and embarrassed, and noticeably so, the other store rep walked over and asked me what it is again that I wanted. So for the first time, I felt like my voice was coming back, and I said, I called earlier and asked if they had a headset and if I could buy it there and now and collect it. The rep said yes, he was the one who I spoke to earlier on the phone, and he asked if I saw the headset. So I said yes. He asked me to show him. So he walked behind his fellow rep, came over to the shelf, and I showed it to him. And I told him that I saw it on the app for the discount, and he told me that he could only match the price if I was a pro member. And I told him, yes, I am. As I signed up at another store, but the store basically didn't have the headset. And that's hence why I called. And he said, okay. And he took up the headset. He walked over to the cashier. He put the headset on the back counter. I walked up behind the last patron that was being checked out, and immediately the store rep at the cashier said, like, he stopped, he looked at the guest, then looked at the other store rep and asked me what was that for. I realized I was getting a little bit antsy, so I had to like take a bit of a break there. Um, so hopefully, I'm gonna collect myself and kind of like calm down and kind of get back to basics, get back on track, so to speak. So the rep who I know realized was like the store owner, like pointed to me, and then he was like, you know, he can get it in an hour when he comes back. With a very lovely, get the heck out of the store kind of tone. The store rep literally said, the door doesn't, you know, the door wasn't closed, there was no sign, and he got the kind of like shut the heck up look. So he got the hint and like walked away. Um, I got, I got the stare, so I kind of like stood there dumbfounded. The the rep completed like the checkout for the last patron. He took up the item, brought it to the register, and he began to like vent, like say it's time for them to take lunch, and they were all at it, like they were at it all day, and he doesn't want to be an asshole, and his words, not mine. Um, so at this point, I really didn't care. I just wanted to get out of the store. He reluctantly took up the item for my pro code asked for my pro code details. I looked, and like he looked at the price and saw that the headset was like $19. And he looked at me like, really, for this? And of course, in my mind, I'm like, you're having a sale, but that wasn't even a problem. That's when I lost it. I looked at him point blank and said, I just want to get out of the store because I actually only came here for the headset because this is the only store that showed me that it had it, and that's the reason why I even called. The price literally didn't matter to me at this point in time. You want me to be out, I want to be out. Then he realized I was kind of like pissed off, and he started to say, like he's sorry for being an asshole. Again, his words, not mine. Um, at this point in my head, I you said previously that you were being an asshole. You're trying to like apologize, but you're still being an asshole. So your apology means absolutely nothing to me at this point in time. It's trash. So, anyways, he asked me if I wanted to use my pro points, which I said I really didn't care. Then he said, not asked, if this was all that I wanted. And my response was no, but I really didn't care about the other items at this point. I just wanted to get out. I told him point blank. So he cashed me out, and I took the bag and I walked out with my like $10 headset. Um, I called an Uber for like $15 to the other store. Um, so yeah, I just said, you know what, let me just go to the other store and get this other stuff that I want. So while waiting, they closed the store and put up a sign, and both of the reps later came out. In passing, I kind of thanked the other store rep because if it wasn't for him, I wouldn't have been there, but probably I would have lost my cool way earlier than I did. He actually tried to help. I respected that. So by the time the Uber dropped me off at the next store, I walked in and I was immediately greeted by Martin and Brittany. Even shared a high five. It's like you go somewhere and you it's like for a long while you haven't been there, but like when you go back, you're like recognized and greeted. It was like coming back home. Clearly, I was still upset, um, and I started to kind of look for items that I had on my list, and Martin was there assisting other customers. I saw a collectible that what was it? Yeah, I was like, it was the love hashira. I have it here. Yeah. Um, so there was like the collectible was there, and I saw it. I was thinking to myself, I'm gonna get this because on the first day at the store, um, it's no like it was at a lower price, but this time it's at a higher price. But the second time I came to the store, it wasn't on the shelf. I had asked Brittany like about it, and they told me that if you guys the GameStop was having like a 2-for-1 collectible sales, things like that, which I kind of did remember seeing online, but I never really thought about it because, like I said, I had like a list of items that I was planning to get. So, and the thing is, I never saw it the second time I went back to the store. So what happened is that apparently Martin was talking to other customer to let them know if they needed anything, if it wasn't there, if they wanted to ask about it, sometimes put things away. And then he even pointed to me like, like I had put some stuff away for the store. So that's when I realized that it looks like Martin had put away the collectible for me. So when I went back to the store the next time and he wasn't there, it wasn't on the shelf, so I thought they sold it. I mean, it could be just that they had more in stock or whatever, or it was sold out, but that's kind of what I kind of got the impression of. So I was actually shocked by this. So, because I had promised to come back like every 2 weeks, but the thing is, he wasn't there, so I thought they had put it away, but either way, the price was no higher, but it didn't matter. I didn't want it to be like disappear, and I didn't take it. So I took it up and I walked around with it in my hand in the store as if it was, it's I already bought it. So I started to look for other items and a few games and look at the controllers I wanted, only for something to happen. I saw this headset, one, in that store on the shelf. So I swear to you, I got pissed off. And it was like when I came into the store, I was a little bit happier because of how I was greeted. But at the same time, no, I was like utterly like I just lost it. It's like all the wind got knocked out of my sail because I was like, at this point, I could have avoided a very negative experience if I had just come here. And it's like the difference of how I was treated when I got into this store in comparison to the other store was night and day. Like literally the tale of two cities. Um, it's the best of times, it was the worst of times. Yeah. So, as other patrons came in, I was giving them space. I was like staring there. I was no really upset. Martin and Brittany were asking me if I was okay. Clearly, they saw that I was like wondering if, they probably was wondering if something is wrong, or probably I was being indecisive about if I needed any other things or whatever. I took up a few games, was looking at what was there, what were the prices and whatever. But to be honest, I already had checked out everything that I had needed and I knew what I wanted. Um, and I was talking to some friends on the phone. I was kind of telling about my experience. It took a while. I was probably like standing in the store for almost probably like 40 minutes or whatever. I really don't even know by now. So Brittany at this point in time was selling the fact for like the 2-for-1 sales to everyone. Um, and I finally calmed down, told Martin, that my friends wanted some stuff digitally. They didn't bother want the actual physical copies of the games, but I was gonna get the collectible and head out. And while I waited, and was browsing, Martin even offered me a snack. Um, that's so funny and weird. Is like Martin and Brittany were like working hand in hand, and they had like some small snacks, and they were like, people coming in and on stuff like that. So they were like talking about things like that. So that was something that kind of I found kind of really really cool. So um, they were really like a team. So as Martin's like, while you wait, while they check out other customers, so he offered me a stack, and I swear it is probably one of the best. Like, it was like something like a Pringles or whatever. Best time I had, because at the end of the day I was already ticked off, and I was like, you know what? Let me just try to calm down. So I humbly took the snack, Um, I started kind of like talk to Martin, but I only like I said, I felt ashamed about everything that was happening, so I'm not kind of wanted like to tell them exactly what happened. Let's give him a quick synopsis. So it's so weird having a different experience with another story. Martin is like, all right, no worries, man. How can I help? So I kept on the brave face. Martin and Brittany checked me out. Um, and I was heading to like Walmart, and I dropped my winter glove. And then I actually called back the store, and Brittany answered, and I asked her if she saw I dropped my glove in the store. And she said, one moment, let me check. She said she didn't see it in the store, let's check outside, without even me asking. She went outside, checked outside, and came back and said she didn't find it. So I wanted to understand, that's not something I asked her to do, she volunteered to do it. And it's so funny. I told her not to worry. Thanks for trying. And I retraced my steps, and funny enough, I found the winter glove. It was like 2 stores down in the parking lot. So I actually got it. Thanks again, Brittany. Um, so I headed home, and I put up my collectible. I put down the headset. So I thought it was like working fine. So I said, I wanted to like use it and kind of set it up as a stream. So you should know OBS, every time you don't use it for a while, it wants to update and do all kind of stuff, and you have to add back the settings or whatever. I didn't really I was already upset, so I didn't like test it out or whatever to make sure everything was fine. So I just jumped on a stream. And that's when my friends kind of like saw that my face was clearly that I was upset, but I didn't realize I was showing it. So when I realized the headset wasn't working, I ended up like emailing like the customer support team. And let's be honest, I wasn't going back to the store to return it. It was either that I got it fixed or I probably give it away or trash it. So the support team offered some troubleshooting step and it failed, and they were said they were going to send a replacement part. I basically did everything with confusing results. I spent almost like 4 hours. I was up to like 5 a.m. in the morning. Um, but rarely enough, I did some research and realized it was just the drivers for this thing. The Windows drivers, so I connected it up and now it's working fine, clearly. Um, and plus this headset retails for like $36. GameStop was selling it for $30, and the sale brought it down to like $19. And I got it for $10 with my pro points. And technically speaking, I got it for $5 because I just like I got a random tip, um, so I just used that or whatever. So I had something there. It didn't really matter to me. Um, yeah, shout out to Alexa C. I was just casually streaming. I didn't even really care, and she sent across the tips. I really appreciate that. Just saying, thanks again.